Hi, I'm Tom Williams and I am going back to school with Student Edge.
Hi, I'm Simon Murado and today I'm chatting with Tom Williams, co-host of The Daily Edition. Tom, thanks for joining us in the Channel 7 gardens.
It's lovely, isn't it? Welcome to the jungle.
It's beautiful, yeah, in the winter especially.
Yeah.
To begin with, tell me what you were like as a student.
I was a very average student. I was by no means an academic. I went to an all-boys Catholic school, Simon, for 10 years. And I had a lot of good times. You know, I really enjoyed it. I wasn't the most popular boy. I probably didn't roll with the cool group, but I was kept very entertained by many of the boys throughout my years, especially the high school years. I did enjoy learning. I had a lot of great teachers who I really admired, and men and women who I occasionally see today. So all in all, my school experience was pretty good.
To begin with, when you mentioned an all-boys school, there was a little bit of regret there, it sounded like. When you found out you were going to an all-boys school, did you complain to your parents? Was that a bit of a pain point for you?
Well, there was not much argument as to which school I was going to. You know, it was the same one that my father attended, my mother's father attended, and my father's father. So, you know, like, I'd passed into this lineage. That was where you were going, you know. Yeah, I suppose. Well, there was a girls' school across the way, so
Okay.
we kind of had to take public transport to school together. So you still got your chasing of the girls fix, I suppose, on the way to school and home.
So it was still a distraction for you regardless?
Yeah, and we did the theatre and stuff with them as well. You know, they joined in our musicals and plays and productions, so yeah, it was fine. I found the guys pretty entertaining.
Well, I'm curious, from your kind of experience, there is that thing sometimes about all-boys schools where it can be very testosterone heavy or very bro-centric,
Yep.
and bullying can be really prevalent. But then on the other side, the bonding can be really strong, and the same for all-girls schools, I'm sure, as well.
Yeah.
For their experience, what was that like for you? Was it more of the bonding for you?
Yeah, it was. I mean, we're talking about that sort of period from 84 to 88. I graduated in 88. It was quite a strict school. So back then, a lot of bullying wasn't tolerated. You know, it was a Jesuit education. You know, so they were very heavy-handed, and capital punishment was alive and well. If you mucked up or you were a bully or anything, you got a pretty hard belting.
Right.
And I suppose I got plenty of them too, but it put me into the line pretty quick. I don't have any gripes other than the fact that I thought the brutality was probably a little bit too extreme. I have a child now.
Right.
And if anybody laid a finger on her, well, they'd know about it. But back in the day, Mum and Dad were probably like, well, what did you do?
Sure. Yeah, they knew you. They were like, well, you must have done something.
Well, you know, if you can call talking in class, you know,
Right.
Grounds to, you know, thrash a child, I don't know.
Well,
back in the day, you know, that was the de jure thing, you know. But nowadays, that's not the go.
of course. So you got the school dances with the girls' school across the road?
Yeah. Loretta Kirribilli was just up and over the hill.
Okay. The reason I ask, I mean, your dancing prowess is well documented. Not just
yes.
from Dancing with the Stars, though,
Right.
but from the Read My Lips video as well.
Man, you know your stuff.
Read my lips.
Wonderful.
Another one is a Coca-Cola ad in
Yes.
which you skydived. Such was your thirst for Coca-Cola. You had to get out of the plane and onto the ground.
Yes.
Was this part of, was there a time, you know, in your kind of younger days where you were looking to move into acting? I guess kind of, I'm curious, what were your career goals at this point in time?
My career goals were probably to follow in my father's footsteps. You know, he was a businessman. He worked a block from here. You know, he was a solicitor, and I kind of only had that vision of, well, I'm just watching my dad dress in a suit every day and go to work and take the ferry that I take as well. I'll probably just end up being what he is. You know, that was my simple-minded thinking, I suppose. My older brother, who was 6 years older, did not graduate, and he became a carpenter, you know. So that was kind of what I was thinking I would do. When I finished school, I didn't get very good marks or enough marks to, do a tertiary university course. So I can remember sitting down with my dad and saying, what am I going to do? And he was like, well, you ain't going to be no solicitor, mate. So we have to think about something else for you to do. I ended up doing some sort of advertising work as an office Johnny. So I did follow down that path, I probably didn't wear the necktie and stuff, but I ended up in an office and I quickly realised that wasn't my go.
So how did you trade that in for TV presenting and getting to where you are today?
Yeah, it's an interesting segue. Out of that, I kind of, I went through some moments. My dad passed. That was a pretty tough time. I kind of was feeling pretty unsettled, so I went and ski bummed around the world, for nearly 2.5, 3 years. So that was kind of an escape for me to try and work out what I was going to do and how I was going to do it. After that time had passed, I came home and I remember my mum and my stepfather saying to me, you're going to have to knuckle down, mate. You're going to have to find something to do. So from the age of 26 to 30, I just hit TAFE and I did a carpentry and joinery certificate 3, and I followed it up with a certificate in residential construction. So I became a builder. My movement into the media business came pretty accidental. It was around 2000. The renovation style home shows were on TV.
Sure.
I was a caller in to Radio Triple J, to American Rosso's Drive program, and I was just kind of Tom the Chippy from Manly, giving my slice of life, in my hometown and sharing that with a national audience. Somebody was casting this TV show and thought, he sounds kind of funny. Let's test him.
I'm curious, at that time when you were sort of in construction and doing your TAFE certificates, did you do any apprenticeships or did you?
No, I was a mature age student.
Okay.
So, I went 1 day a week. I worked on site as a labourer as such for 4 days, and I backed it up with 2 nights at TAFE as well. At the same time, I was rowing competitively for in-surf lifesaving. So I fit a lot of stuff in. I was cramming a lot of stuff into my life, and I probably had this holiday previously and realised, I've got to really get a wriggle on. So my mum still says to this day, I don't know how you did it, son, but you did a bloody good job. We were a little bit worried there for a while. You're a bit lost around the world, being a ski bum, but I managed to pull it all together.
Well, you mentioned you have a young daughter now.
Yeah.
I mean, to finish up, what's the one piece of advice you would give her based on all your experiences?
Oh, wow, that's a really good question. Just be kind and nice to people, she's got a great mum and dad, so how could she not be nice?
How could she fail?
Yeah, no. Look, it's a different world. Mate, no question of that. It's tough. I think I was enormously lucky growing up in that time, the Gen X, not a really care in the world, but, somehow we kind of minced it together. Nowadays, it's pretty hot. It's dog eat dog. It'll be a tough world. The kids at school can be pretty gnarly, but we'll take care of her, and we'll make sure that she has a golden path. Yeah.
It was so great talking to you, Tom.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. Good to talk to you too, man.
Likewise. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that video, click here to subscribe to our YouTube channel or find more of our stuff at studentedge.com.au.